Welcome back to Instant Clarity Podcast. My name is Tjaša Dorelay and I'm a channeling medium. Have you ever wondered what happens after we die? In this episode, I'm channeling Goddess Isis. She has all the answers around your soul's path, around your soul contract, and she's the one who will tell us what happens after we die. So listen to this episode and find out the secret of life. Dear conscious being, my name is Goddess Isis, and I'm here to reveal the secret of your life. You know, you're a soul. You've traveled from far, far away places to incarnate here on planet Earth. And this is just one of your many lifetimes, not only on planet Earth, but also your soul had many lifetimes before on other planets, on other planes of reality. So before I answer this question, I need to explain something. Your consciousness was born from a star that exploded inside of the universe. One ray of this star has traveled through multiple universes, and your soul was created inside of your soul's kingdom. When your soul was born, your being was actually prepared to start life. So through different timelines, through different lifetimes, your soul has incarnated. And when you were traveling from your soul's kingdom to this life in which you are right now, you've written down your soul's contract. I, Goddess Isis, and all your personal guides and angels were there with you. We together sat down and we decided what this life will look like. So, of course, it was not a meeting as you know them in life, like sitting down around the table, but it was a consciousness meeting. So we decided what will you experience in this lifetime. And one of the important topics was also how your life will look like after you finish this life. So you actually received 3 different options, 3 different exits out of this life. So, of course, in your soul contract, it was written how your body will look like, what will be your gifts, what you will learn in this lifetime, who will be people that you will meet and create relationship with, where will your soul integrate and incarnate. So many and actually all important information was written down and decided. But amongst this information, there was also an information about how you will die, or 3 different ways how you can end this life as a soul. So then your life starts, you start living your soul's purpose, your soul contract starts actually manifesting itself. And then when time comes, when your soul decides it's time to finish this incarnation, you physically die. But of course, even though your physical body dies, your soul doesn't die, your spirit doesn't die. So now I will explain what actually happens. So let's say it's your last day, your soul says goodbye to this physical body of yours, and the moment when comes this separation, when soul exits the body loses the spark of life, and that's when the body physically dies and the body starts disintegrating. So your body was created from all the elements that are here on planet Earth. So when you physically die, like physicality of your body dies, you start disintegrating. So your body is actually coming back to those basic elements from which it was created. So you physically become non-existent, or actually you return back to your physical elemental state. But the soul, well, the soul's journey continues. So the first thing that happens is the moment you die, your soul comes out of your physical body and it starts traveling around your physical body, taking out of the body, out of all the bodies, all information that the soul has experienced in this lifetime. So when soul exits the body, soul still stays there next to the body, just kind of gathering all information about this life. So many times, if you experience a passing of your loved one, you could still feel their soul present, because this is what happens. For a few hours, sometimes even up to 3 to 7 days, the soul stays next to the body, next to its physical form, because it needs to kind of gather all the information from this lifetime. But this depends on the soul. Some souls really jump out of the body quickly and they start going back to their source, but some stay with the body longer. So what decides, or what is this factor that actually decides how long will the soul stay? It's about the journey of the soul from previous times. So if the soul was incarnated on this specific planet, actually this soul doesn't need so many days or hours to stay next to the body, because the soul has experienced this transition so many times. But if, for example, a certain soul uses this body for its first incarnation, then of course, after the physical body dies and the soul jumps out of the physical body, the soul stays next to the body for a longer period of time, but never longer than 7 days. So what happens is the moment that soul jumps out of the physical body, it starts gathering information out of the energy field and out of all the bodies, just to get a sense of everything that the soul has experienced in this lifetime. And then the journey back starts. So the first thing that happens is that the soul goes back to the beginning. Actually, it returns to the soul's kingdom. Why? Because the soul needs to come back to its original place to start next lifetime. But in this travel back to the soul's kingdom, the soul actually passes through 2 different planes of reality. You can imagine in your human mind that there is this big room. And in this big room, a soul cleanses itself. So this is the first plane of reality. So it's like this big room in which soul comes to clear all the energies from this past lifetime. So it's actually a kind of a place, even if it's not a physical, it's a state of being, it's a vibrational field, a place in which soul comes to recognize everything that it has experienced in this lifetime. So all the relationships, every experience, all the situations, it's like a tunnel of consciousness turning around all information and showing the soul everything that this life actually was about. So in a way, soul needs to remember the whole lifetime of this previous life, because this is important before entering next lifetime. So the first room, it's about remembering, it's about recognizing what this life was actually about. It was about facing reality. What did happen? What did not happen? How did I live? What did I do? So it's kind of a place in which a soul can recognize itself and get more clarity about life. at the same time, this room, when soul does that, is also about clearing. So when you recognize your life as a soul, you are actually clearing all these energies. Because even though in this lifetime you were in this physical body, you had a certain identity, you had a certain name, when you go back as a soul, you lose that because you are never that person again. It was just the journey for this lifetime. So what happens in this first room or plane of reality, you remember everything that happened for the reason to clear everything that happened. So when a soul clears everything, this is also a plane of reality from which people that stayed and are still alive on planet Earth can still reach you as a soul. So if you are in this first plane of reality, in this clearing room, your loved ones still feel you around, even though you're not physically around, because you're still as a soul connected to this image of you, to this identity of you. And when it's time, you continue your journey back. So you go back towards your soul's kingdom. And then you step in a second room or a second plane of reality. The idea and the intention of this second room is to prepare you for your next journey. So first room, it's about recognizing, clearing, and the second room, it's about recognizing what is your journey for your times ahead. So in this second room, your soul meets with all the guides, so all the personal guides, angels, and we talk again, we exchange consciousness, and at that time, you realize what is your next lifetime. What do you want to take forward from what you have experienced before? So in this second room, you choose your next lifetime. So if your soul chooses to incarnate further, so to continue its journey further, then you return back to your soul's kingdom to gather all the energies of your soul, and then new lifetime begins. So the new cycle starts. But sometimes souls in this second room or second plane of reality, they decide that they will not incarnate further, not now, or maybe not at any times. So what happens if a soul in the second room decides that she will not incarnate further just for a few timelines? You come back to your soul's kingdom and you stay there, just kind of swimming in your vibration and existing. But if you decide that you will not incarnate at all, like that your soul's travel is finished, you then proceed to the third room. In this third room, only souls who are ready to stop incarnating go. So the third room, it's about like the end of the soul. Yes, soul is not eternal. Even though your soul can have many lifetimes, you can travel from different plane of realities, incarnating on different planets, but there comes a time when even your soul decides it's time to stop with the travel, with the incarnation. So when this happens, the third room is opened and your soul steps into this room, into this plane of reality, and there comes all the timelines, they switch to one focus point. So it comes like all the lifetimes that a soul has traveled through and experienced are opened again. So the soul can actually physically, this happens is that it comes inside of itself. So your soul becomes disintegrated. Like the star when you were born, you start disintegrating and you take all your timelines that you've lived, that the soul has lived, and everything starts coming together to nothingness. Everything starts from nothing and everything returns from nothing. And when we talk about nothing, it's just that everything at all times exists, but all the information and vibration and light are just not activated. So when your soul starts its journey at the beginning, everything is born from nothing, from all the information that coexists, the activation starts. So at the end, when your soul decides it's time to finish the journey, not just for this lifetime, but for forever, the same process actually happens, just in the reverse. So from everything that was, all the information there was in the field, everything starts separating. So the disintegration happens. So let's go back again. So when your physical life stops, your soul jumps out of your physical body and it starts traveling around. And when it's ready, enters the first room to recognize its life, so everything that happens, and then it continues to the second room in which the soul prepares for the next journey. If the next journey is right in front of the soul, then the soul comes back to its soul's kingdom, where activates all energies that she or it has, and then the new life cycle begins. But if the soul decides in the second room that there is no future timelines to experience, there is no future lifetimes to experience, what happens is the soul transcends itself, goes to the third room, and the disintegration process starts. But there is also one other option. Some of the souls, during their travel through different timelines and lifetimes, become so enlightened, get so much clarity and so much wisdom that a certain souls decide that they will become masters. So the certain souls decide that they will become masters. It's like spiritual guides. So this happened, for example, with Buddha or with Jesus. When those souls stopped their journey, they didn't go into the cycle of new lifetimes, but they decided to come to the fourth room, jumping over the third room to the fourth room. And in the fourth room, only souls, conscious-wise, when they are ready, they can become masters, spirit guides. So, is every person that dies your angel and your guide? The answer is no. Yes, you can feel like your grandma is still there in spirit guiding you, but she is not your spirit guide. There is a difference between your loved ones who passed away and those who decided to become masters. Because the souls who decide to become masters, they are in this fourth room, upgraded actually to the celestial realm, and they become celestial beings. And they cannot return back just to the level of the soul. So they cannot integrate back to planet Earth or any plane of reality. So, for example, Master Buddha, his soul doesn't exist anymore because his soul was disintegrated and he was upgraded to be just the celestial being he is. So, just to make sure for you to understand that when a certain soul is upgraded to the celestial realm, this soul cannot come back to its previous life or to its future life. It's not possible because they are vibrating in different level, in different frequency, and their intention is different. They don't need for themselves personally to experience different lifetimes because they are actually there for guidance for other souls who are already and still are on this journey of life. So to conclude, what is important for you to understand is when a certain person passes away, it's important for you to feel the love for them, to be grateful for the journey that you've shared, but then to really let go, to not connect again and again and again and thinking about them all the time, because actually their soul is already traveling forward. So it's not your grandma, for example, it's not your grandma anymore. Her soul is already maybe in another planet living its new life. So it's so important for you to be aware that what you are connecting to when a certain soul passes through these rooms, you're actually connecting just to the memory. So let's say that you ask your grandma to give you advice for something in your life. She cannot give you advice from where she is right now. For example, if she's already integrated in another life, you are actually connecting to the memory of her, and to that memory, you are asking for guidance. So when you receive this guidance, it's not from her now, it's from her soul back then when she was your grandma. So it's so important for you to realize that it's easier and you will get more answers if you turn to your angels, to your spirit guides, because they are there all the time guiding you, having answers for you. And their understanding is very broad, so they can really give you exact information. If you want to still feel connected to your loved ones who passed away, it's so important to just go to your heart and just remember the experiences that you had, but at the same time, allow their soul to travel forward. So the last thing I want to say for you, you don't need to be afraid of your death, because it's just the same process as when you were born. You were born again when you die, because you start a new cycle, a new lifetime begins. So this for soul, it's very easy. It's like when you go on holidays every year. Lifetimes for soul is like that. It's holidays. So the soul has many lifetimes to experience on different planes of reality, and this process is just a process, and you don't need to be emotionally attached to it or have any fear around it, because it's just a process. And every soul, when the soul incarnates on this planet Earth, for example, and in this lifetime, is actually not aware of everything that happened before, with the very important reason, because it's important for the soul to experience this lifetime to its fullness, to really understand and be present and experience what this lifetime is about. And when you will continue and you will change the timeline and you will go to next life, you will forget about this lifetime. It's not that you didn't live it. It's not that it was not important. Of course, every lifetime it's an upgrade. But because in every incarnation, you need to be present. That's why many times you don't remember what happened before. Or if you remember, it's because this memory is important for this lifetime. I end here. My name is Goddess Isis, and I'm so happy and grateful that you've enlarged your consciousness now with me. I love you and I bless you. Goddess Isis. I wish clarity you received today has touched your heart, expanded your consciousness, and inspired you to become conscious leader of your life. If it has, then leave a review and let's stay connected on Instagram at Tjaša Dorelay. And remember, your vibration creates your situation.